because he's done a wonderful job and he's added to our town. But my question was this, is the land worth less today than it was when you took out the first option? And I was as much playing devil's advocate as I was, worried about the actual cost of it. We talked back and forth with this, and finally, it ended up that we made a motion agreeable with, the committee and Mr. Owen to set the option price at $5,700 an acre.
The council sold Mr. Allman, was it 5 acres?
4.9.
4.9 acres, okay. And how much additional acreage are we talking about here now?
He's now talking about another 4 to 8.
We agreed to leave it as the original option as written, which was 5 to 8. I did.
What is council's answer to Mr. Moncure's question? Is the land more valuable today, or do we want?
Let me further, we went ahead and the committee recommended to council that we accept this $5,700 an acre price, because part of the value in what he's done now is been because Mr. Allman put his own money.
What they
in the
did,
sewer
right.
And then other things.
Yep.
Now, I will say this, it's more valuable than the Commons property, because the Commons property doesn't have an airport on it.
Yep.
But on the other hand, I haven't seen the Commons property do anything yet, and I have seen very positive results from Mr. Allman.
Well, I see that this is a 3-0 vote from the committee.
Yes, it was a 3-0 vote.
I move that council takes the recommendation to approve the option of $5,700 per acre, extending the existing option for 6 months with a 6-month extension totaling 12 months.
Motion made and seconded. That's for the additional 5 to 8 acres, correct?
Correct.
I will ask for a roll call vote, starting with Mr. Tucker.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, Mr. Holman.
There's another part to that.
Yes, one with the layout plan, or the, software.
All right. Mr. Owen came up and said that right now that we have virtually no advertising at all for our airport. And it's strictly word of mouth, I guess, and I'm putting words in his mouth. For people to know they can come in here and refuel and find a rental car or find a hotel or find whatever they need to have. And there is a website with pilots use that lists your airport and your amenities. And this has a price of $654 a year, 1 year. And he would like to know if we would be interested in sponsoring this Blackstone Airport website.
That's dirt cheap. That's $55 a month.
Would it be an actual website, or is it being incorporated into a website that's already there?
It's already there.
It just puts all our information
It
on it.
puts our
Is that what it
information
does?
into this.
I thought the AWAS system out there, and you may be able to explain that, I thought the AWAS system did that for us.
No. So, most all pilots now, everything they use is electronic. So when they do flight planning, they're on their iPad or on the computer. Even in the airplane now, you can be flying along and you need fuel, and it'll tell you where the cheapest fuel is. It'll place it all up. There's 3 big websites that do that integrate in the cockpit and with the prevailing, very popular pilot websites.
So you feel good about this thing would really help?
Yeah, so what we've done is we've got good Wi-Fi for them. UAV Pros provided a car, and what we need now is see if they can find us. Our business doesn't get any revenue from the fuel directly, so we thought it was fair and reasonable to ask the town, look, you want to try this advertising? I don't know that it'll work. We're going to give it a try.
Have to lose.
I can tell you last week we had 3 Citation jets on the ramp all lined up, which is pretty significant for Blackstone. There's about $25 million apiece.
All right.
So we've had in the last month, 2 big jets land at Blackstone because they can't land at Farmville because the runway's not long enough. So we're starting to get a little presence. I say pilots are like truck drivers, they're creatures of habit. If they can get in, have clean facilities, good Wi-Fi, decent fuel price, they'll come back. So these websites put little, they're like apps, they put little icons that say, we have a courtesy car, you know, list of restaurants.
Sort of like the Waze app, is it sort of like that?
Yes, sir.
Motion
That's
to approve
cheap.
of the $604 for 1 year to come out of the fueling funds.
And Ms. Thompson has seconded Mr. Nash's motion. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. The ayes have it.
Nobody,
Yes, sir.
our town manager has renegotiated our lease, our fueling agreement with the federal government. The DLA Energy fuel consumption bids were accepted to the Defense Logistics Agency for the period of June 1st, 17 through March 2021. What it amounts to in the long run is that the prices that we would get would increase Blackstone's per gallon receipts from 65 cents a gallon to 69 cents a gallon. And so far, this has been done very well, or has served us very well. And since we have to use the money that we derive from this for airport use. But I move that we approve
The bids.
Mr. Van Norman's bid acceptance.
I think it's already done. I don't know if you necessarily have to accept
That
it.
we approve.
We ratify. He wants to ratify, put it on the record.
Second.
Mr. Nash is second. Mr. Moncrief's motion to ratify. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
One more item.
Yes, sir.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
That figure on there, $618,000,
For multi-year.
that's for the whole period of time, correct?
Dollars or gallons?
It's
Shows us dollars.
Gallons.
Oh, okay. I was
Gallons.
about to say, because that seemed kind of low, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's the
Dollar-wise.
estimation for the 3-year period.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not bad.
All right, go ahead.
The committee has also, over the past 3 or 4 months, been concerned with the entry road into the town property out there from Route 40. Well, not from Route 40, from, yeah, into Mr. Allman's property, and then therefore into the rest of the industrial complex out there. The road is not suitable for heavy trucks. And we looked at the thing, and the first time we met, we decided that what we needed to do is have core samples run on the road to find out what kind of shape the base was in. And this was done, and it took 6 weeks or so to get that done. It turns out that the base is gonna be sufficient, and that with putting 2 inches of asphalt on top of it would suffice. But a road that would be only guaranteed use for 2 years. And I said, my senses went up. Why put any kind of money into a road that you're not gonna get for 2 years use out of it? And it turns out that by adding another $40,000 or $50,000, and I don't have those figures right in front of me, that we would get a much better road, but that we are not forced into a decision on this right now. We're trying to get the road ready for Mr. Owen Cretin with his partners. And we'll just dress up what we have, and it's sufficient, because we don't have that degree of traffic on it at this point.
We talking about Dominic Corner Road, the road, you're
The
talking
road
about
that turns
that's
off
what I
that
thought.
goes
Gotcha.
along the fence line.
I got you, okay.
Into the town
Right,
property.
okay.
It runs up to the fence and then, runs in about probably 100 feet or maybe a little more to his parking area.
It's the entrance to the industrial park.
Gotcha.
Most of it, 90% of it, the town owns proper, and the rest of it is an easement the town has that UAV Pro relinquished so that you can sell to other people in the industrial park and they can service that, because to enter off the highway is what VDOT would require with
Oh,
turning lanes
never
and
get
all.
Yeah.
Railroad tracks.
Terrible, terrible.
Um,
Do we need any action on this tonight?
There's no action required
Okay.
tonight, just let everybody know that we have a possible expenditure coming to us. And the nice thing about it is
Airport funds.
that we've got $100,000 already put aside, a little more than that, really, probably closer to 105 or 6,000.
Yes.
Put aside for this type of expenditure. And all we will have to decide is, would we like to incur a little more money into it in order to get a little more longevity in the life of the road?
Right.
I can't see, for the lack of another $40,000-$50,000, which would be paid for by fueling this airport to begin with, that we would not hedge our bets and make a better investment. But this decision doesn't have to be made today or tonight,
All right.
but at another meeting. And with that, I'll
Thank you, Mr. Moncur.
conclude my
Good,
remarks.
good report on the committee. At this time, we'll head on to unfinished business. And,
Mayor, I withdraw the request.
all right, so we will meet on the third Thursday, July, as usual. We have a Board of Zoning Appeals resignation from Janet Bennell, so we need another appointment. Does anyone have a name tonight they'd like to nominate? I guess we nominate to the judge, is that correct?
Can we bring it on the
Yes,
28th?
yes.
We're just gonna have a regular meeting.
Yeah, let's bring it to 28, and this person can be anywhere in town, they're not by wards.
Miss Sally Gill is very interested lately.
The Board of Zoning Appeals has some interesting meetings coming up, or has had one anyway. Everyone come to the 28th with a name. Moving right along, we have ongoing projects. We have Mr. Roebeck on Main Street. You can roll with this part of the agenda.
We have a dilapidated structure on Main Street. We've been in contact with the property owner, and we have one on East Broad Street that we're hoping to incorporate as part of our East End project. But those are probably the two hot dilapidated buildings that we're working on right now. The whole house is still the only outstanding meal tax.
The Huddle House has grass cut.
The bush hog.
Bush hog, okay.
Bush
Saw
hog
that.
and,
Is bush
Yes,
hog,
yes.
bush hog a verb?
South Main Street, we opened the bids, I believe, on Thursday. They are way high. And, so you know, engineer's estimate and budget, including VDOT contribution to the revenue share, was $550,000. Low bid was 733. So that does not include engineering and soft costs. So my expectation is, sadly, we are going to, unless something happens, I do not have the additional money, and we'll have to reject the bid and go another winter.
I mean, can we do something with the pavement now?
We're gonna have to.
Because it's rough. And
Didn't we
3
rebid
or
on-
4 spots?
Didn't Nottaway Avenue come in real high and we rebid and it came under budget?
Well, the reason it came in real low to
Because
start
you had
with,
that.
because the contractor said I made a mistake in my.
That's right, the
You made it
materials,
work.
that's right, that's right.
Mistake.
Yep, he didn't include
So
the
he kinda
materials.
honored what he did. If you will pay me for my rock.
Right.
We dodged a bullet on Nottaway Avenue, but there's no such bullet to be dodged here, I suspect.
So on this list of 6 contractors, you had 3 of them that actually submitted.
3
bids.
actually submitted.
And one of them put a lot of sevens in his bid, which means he wants the job.
7 success, correct, typically.
I
What
didn't
would your
think-
additional figures be if you had to add your engineering cost and your soft cost, whatever you want?
Double it? No, I'm just kidding.
832.
So you're another $100,000.
There's no way.
Do you want a motion to reject the bids?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'll do this on the 28th if we can, but I want to get the engineer's recommendation.
All right.
We need to do
Because he may
something with
pull
the
right out of the
road.
hat, I don't know, but.
We need to do something with the road. I mean, it's pretty.
Keep on adding to the
It's on
agenda, and
schedule either way.
I'm gonna want dinner.
Just so you know, Colony Construction will be here. I should say Whitehurst will be here doing tar and gravel work, primarily in Mr. Tucker's district in that end of town. And before we do that, we have to have Colony come in and do patching. And those are,
Do you know when that date, that time is?
I know Whitehurst will be here the second week in August, or are committed to be here the second week in August. So the patching has to be done prior to that. So, and I've told Colony, you don't have to be here, except for, you gotta be here before Whitehurst. And, we expect them to be here for it. The money is put aside for both of those projects. We don't have to raise any more funds. All the revenues for patching and all the revenues for, tar and gravel is set aside.
All right, so,
Church Street project, we've had some additional property owners come forward and indicate that they would like their homes to be renovated, one on Second Street and a couple on Church Street, and Piers. In addition, we've been approved for a budget amendment, so anybody that's familiar with that neighborhood, there's an old church. It's back in the woods, it's just dreadful. There's a colony of cats living there, and the state has agreed finally, and the property owners have agreed in writing to allow the town to demolish that structure at state.
all right, very good.
River Ward's second basketball court is built.
Looks good.
The police department has ordered pads, so if you have inquiry, they have people parking on it, sadly. So we put the cones up, Eric called me and said, can we get the cones up? No problem. Dan's gonna put some utility
I was
poles
about to say,
around it.
what
Yeah.
is our permanent fix?
Utility
Permanent
poles.
fix,
Well, will be when we do that curb and gutter.
be the curb and gutter and sidewalk will be in front of it. The semi-permanent fix right now would
Be
just be
those
some light
utility
poles
poles.
laid on the side to keep people from driving.
Okay.
Yep, very
Dan
good.
and I have already met, and I asked him today, he said, I'll get to it as quick as I can.
When are we looking at Riverworth, the safe route to school grant going
Dr.
there?
Nathan Harbin with HDLA Architects. The formal vote by the State Transportation Board is at the June meeting, and I think that's next week. And after that, we just go. We can turn it loose and get the design, formal design work done. And
That'll make it look much better.
what Eric's talking about is that TAP 21 grant we
Yep.
applied for, and tentatively, we've been approved for $206,000 of state funds to build sidewalk curb and gutter primarily at the ball field and back out to the
Well, that, how much will that cover?
You will go from Oak Street, where the sidewalk stops in front of Lynn Sheckleton's house. Take the sidewalk down to Birch. Curb and gutter and sidewalk will go to Harris. And curb and gutter and sidewalk will go north on Harris all the way to the volleyball court and beyond LCC.
Where it's real
Good,
rough. You
okay.
actually have a delineation of where people pull into. park.
Yes, yes, that's
And
great.
it'll be paved and it'll look, not like Mogadishu, but it'll look.
Correct.
Right. All right,
Good.
very good.
I do have some questions on Wigglesworth. If we can get the rec and the building and grounds. I've still got, if you remember, the young lady took pictures of a burned piece of playground equipment and sent it
Yes,
to you and I.
Don Van Ness.
The replacement is sitting in the shop.
Well, I
Do
mean,
we replace it with?
I have a
Honestly-
suggestion, I don't wanna form another committee, but would you have a problem with the two of us and the council president meeting together and get some direction?
No
Come back to
Give me
council?
some ideas where you wanna do. If you
Would
wanna
you
put it
do
in the
that
same
with us?
spot, we can do it.
Right.
But, insurance paid for,
yeah, it's been sitting up there for a year now. I mean, it's
not
been,
about a year, but a long time.
It's been some time.
Since there's gonna be three of us, I'd like to, I'd like council to authorize us through a motion.
I'd entertain a motion to authorize Chairman Nash, Chairman Green, and Council President Thompson to
So moved.
meet with the town manager and give direction on the playground. And Mr. Tucker, second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And
Last item,
Yes.
lighting the basketball courts. Lighting the basketball courts. I told Dan, it's my expectation we're gonna light these new ones, and for him to go ahead and start the process of
True.
It's a given,
getting
isn't
bids
it?
on lights
Yeah.
and such things. So unless
I'm-
directed otherwise, we're gonna put lights on like
It's a
that.
given, isn't it? I mean, we were
Unless
gonna put
directed
the second
otherwise.
basketball court, there was
Is there any
no,
way to position the current light? The
We
pole?
may be able to put some
and
lights
shine
on the existing pole to do some of
Well,
it.
you may have to reposition the pole in between the two courts.
we can defer to the light department will figure it away. And
But
you're
we're gonna
gonna,
light the second court.
yes, that's good.
Yes.
Excellent.
That's
All right.
all there. East End Planning Grant, all the paperwork is complete. We are waiting news on a construction grant, and we, as we have for millennia, we've been applying for these grants, and they typically reward them in mid to late summer. So we're just waiting to hear whether the construction grant for East End is approved. Nottaway Avenue, they're in the county side. They've literally poured all the concrete in the town of Blackstone, and they're doing curb and gutter and sidewalk now in the county portion. And, we wrote out there today, they're probably, a quarter of the way, third of the way done in the county, so they're moving along.
Will that Will that paving be done the same time?
No, the paving is.
That's
scheduled-
included.
I expect the paving will be done in August, which is the termination of their contract, or the, not the termination, but the substantial completion date of their contract.
Right.
Final completion of September.
September.
But I think the concrete, at the last progress meeting, Harmon Saunders told us the concrete would all be poured by the end of June.
So
Weather permitting.
they may finish before September.
Oh, yeah.
Can we make sure that the new pavement that will be put between the new curb and guttering and the existing road is much better than that of Church Street project?
Well, that-
It is,
put a
it's horrible
dagger
down there, I'm sorry. It's horrible.
It was not the best.
Well, I think it's something we ought to celebrate. I think it's a bold step the council did, and I think that, I'm not sure if we need a ceremony, but that ribbon cutting wouldn't hurt. I mean, folks, you know, it's, and something we're gonna do all over town, hopefully, over
Let me
time.
tell you on the paving, they're gonna just tie in
Correct.
the curb to the existing pavement, but we got 2 or 3 spots that are Mogadishu-like, so we're gonna have to mill those out when Conley comes in, and the ultimate goal is to substitute the whole thing so it all looks consistent. Now, the difference on Second Street, because there were areas that were dug out, they used a 68 to 78 stone. That's not a final stone. I don't like it. Big said, we'll come back and do it. I said, you owe me some. It was acceptable, but it's not a number 9 stone. And number 9 is that real fine stuff like on Brown Street. This on Church Street, or on Nottaway, we have fine number 9. But they're tar and graveling over asphalt. Over there on Second Street, there was a lot of dugout spots where we put the water lines in, and we did some other things to take some of the bad spots out. And that's why they used a 68. I won't do it again, I promise. Yeah.
That's right.
It was a failed experiment.
All right, things are going well. That's all for ongoing projects, I believe. Heading to new business, we have an engagement letter from Robinson Farmer Cox with no changes in fees.
And the mayor and I have signed this, if you noticed.
So they learned their lesson. They learned their lesson not to go up $700.
That's right.
They had given us a checklist of things that need to be done before they did the preliminary work, which is May 30th and 31st, correct? And on that checklist, they wanted an engagement letter because there was no additional charges or costs or anything like that. And I agreed, we would proceed on so we could get them here, because it was not gonna work in June because you were on vacation or something was going on.
You need a motion to ratify your behavior? Is that what you
Yes.
need?
My bad behavior in the mayor's,
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Mr. Nash is.
I would ask you to do a roll call vote for the amount of money, please.
Have a roll call vote, start with Mr. Tucker.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Nash asked that I put this VML program on the agenda. I believe it's an initiative called the Stairway to Success, supporting early childhood education. Mr. Nash.
I don't know if you guys read your VML magazine
Yes.
that you get, but it's something that we're already doing a decent amount of, and I would like to see Miss Yvonne, Miss Wilson, head this up if possible, and, I mean, we've already got a lot of points. I went through and added up some points, but if you would, I'd like the council to authorize Miss Wilson to proceed on.
It's just a friendly competition amongst localities, but you get points for various activities your community does or offers. And who will second Mr. Nash's motion? Mr. Tucker, a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. There's really no cost. It's just to really jot down that which we already do. Next item is, I believe we've got some bids approved, don't we?
Actually, it's a contract, and we pick up the trash at the state police.
Yes,
contract,
yes.
And we gave you a blank document. We
Yep.
did not have the actual numbers in it. And the correct numbers are the same as they are currently this year. It's $300, $320 a month. Annual cost is $3,840. An additional service fee is $80 per additional collection. So it costs $800. Total cost $4,640, which is exactly what we're doing now. And if you look at the agreement from last year, and the state police is asking, we don't need a contract. This is purely for the state police benefit, and they're asking if we want to renew this.
Are we seeing that it's costing us more?
I haven't had any complaints, and I haven't had any reason to believe. They bought all their dumpsters, they didn't have to pay for any of that.
Okay.
And as far as I know from David and the guys listening, it's causing a big impact.
Well, it sounds like something that we should take the manager's advice on. I move to approve this contract.
Motion been made. Is there a second? It'd be $4,640 a year, correct? And it's under $10,000. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Got some bids in here somewhere, folks. I struggling with my pack tonight, I apologize. Main Street signs. I've seen them, they look good, they're gonna go up this week, I believe.
When David gets back from fueling school.
They've got a little film on them right now, but they're really sharp. Only problem is, David, we've got 6 entrances in town, and we've got 2 signs.
I don't know the answer to that. Do you?
That's what they provided the first time, and we can't find it in the minutes, but, I mean, I
We
know,
got 6 the first time.
we paid for the additional,
We did.
we did.
And I would recommend that the first 2, this is I've had my druthers, I think you need one coming in on Northwest Avenue and on South Main Street. Those are the 2 big entrances, I think, for the first 2. But I guess DBI, that's y'all's call, isn't it, I guess?
We would defer to the town, but yes, that would be where.
Good
So,
answer.
is there 4 signs, is there 4 signs or 6?
It's 6 entrances.
I think we have.
We have 4 signs.
Oh, we have 4.
And-
Okay,
And
so
the
you need
state
6.
provides 2.
Okay.
I move that the town provide the other 2.
And they cost roughly what?
But you might as well say $900 for shipping and all.
For both of them.
Right.
All right, all in favor of that motion? Is there a second to that motion?
Where will the, second,
Doesn't matter, we'll just have all 4 new signs.
I second. But where will the funds come from is all I'm asking. The $900
Council
discretionary fund.
Well,
It's there,
I don't
so-
remember when we've hit it, have we?
Not just, we're getting to the end
Used
of
to
the year.
call it
too.
my fund, but.
That's right.
Yeah,
Mr.
it's
Zachary
there.
Whitlow has a quick point.
Are you purchasing the single-sided or the double-sided?
We'll leave that to the discretion of
Well-
DBI.
But the $900
900 includes the double.
double-sided.
Right.
Are y'all, I mean, would you rather have single-sided or double?
I just didn't know if anyone.
Well, just-
specified what-
I had not heard anybody specify, but
I believe it, the motion would be to leave it to the discretion of DBI.
the ones we've got are double-sided, are they not?
I am pretty sure. that
Yeah, I saw them. They're double-sided.
Take them out of the shipping material that Dave picked up.
Right. All right, Mr. Green's got a motion, and Mr. Nash has seconded it, and it's to purchase the additional
2 signs.
2
So then there will
signs.
be 2 entrances that don't have.
No, we only have 4 signs up now.
Oh,
This will
This will replace the existing signs.
This will give us 6 signs for all 6 entrances.
No, 4.
4.
4.
You said there's 6 entrances, but he's saying it's 4.
We have 4 signs up now, is that
Right, but
right?
there are, if you're gonna signage your town, you need to have 6.
There's one on North Main.
You have North Main, South Main, Church Street, Northwest Avenue, Dinwiddie Avenue, and
We don't have
They ain't
any,
got nothing on Dinwiddie Avenue.
we don't have any signage on Dinwiddie Avenue at all.
you know, why don't we? Why would we not want one? That's where you're coming in from the Hotelville.
That's the,
That's the Hotelville, man. There are 6 entrances to Blackstone. I think there is
Not the
too.
Main Street sign. That's what he's talking about.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna do it right, whether it's saying, welcome to the Arts and Crafts Festival, whatever, we have 6
Well,
entrances to
somebody
town.
needs to offer a substitute motion, or either I change mine,
Do
either
you mind
way.
changing it?
I'll change mine to be 4 signs
give us
out of
6.
council's discretionary funds.
All right, very good. Is there a second to that motion?
second.
Very good,
I
second.
do have a question.
Yes.
The signs that are currently up are enormously tall. Is there a reason for that? I mean, will they be lower?
And they sway when they wind blow.
Yes, they sway and,
I sent them the specs.
They're in
they're
here,
in
they're in here.
so it's 5 foot.
They don't need to be that tall,
It says
Oh, you're right.
5 to 7 foot is from the bottom of the sign to the ground level.
Not the, these are the oval signs that are kind of blue. That say,
Yeah.
because the one coming in from Sloss is only about 4 feet off the ground.
And that's too high, but I mean, is it any of the state's business what height we put the signs?
No.
Unless it's specified in those installation guidelines, I don't think that it would be an issue.
Well, the town will put them up, so we'll.
Right. We'll be consistent. Gosh, I had a thought. What will we do with the blue signs? Just,
They are not required to be returned.
Okay.
They're just- We may hang on to one for historical memory.
Sure.
Or whatever, but I don't know.
This is statewide, the signs are changing, so they're obsolete.
Recycled.
I know someone who's doing something to their house that would love a piece of Blackstone souvenir, but I'll talk to y'all later about my friend there.
I think you'd be obliged.
All
We'll send them to you.
in favor of the motion to buy 4 signs, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Just a quick item on number 5, just something to think about. Next year, on Veterans Day, is the 100th anniversary of Veterans Day. It's Armistice Day. It also happens to be the 25th anniversary of Sea Park. And I got to thinking, if it were not for John Hill and the local veterans, this community that prides itself on being a military town really would not have a Memorial Day service or Veterans Day service. And I was thinking maybe the town, as much as we like to do less in government, could we maybe do something for our veterans on Veterans Day 2018? And just kind of get thinking, and maybe we'd engage DBI in the chamber. But I sat there in Lakeview Cemetery on Memorial Day saying, why should these veterans have to do all the work for us to bring attention to the fact that veterans gave the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom? So I think it'd be a nice gesture for the town.
I'd be delighted to take it up on building property if you
I'd
would.
love it. That'd be great.
Well, I would do anything to see if we couldn't get
We'll take it up and
bigger and
we'll
greater
come back to council.
Because, of course, I'm a little older than most of you, but being a veteran, it means a lot to me.
Sure. I think we need to do it. So 2018, we got time to plan. Mr. Green, thank you. Your committee will get things going there.
We will.
It doesn't have to be the grand poobah, but just something that, I like to see the veterans not have to work to honor, to us to think about them. Thank y'all, thank y'all. Moving right along, we have some bids for the generator maintenance, and we're gonna approve the low bid. Mr. Van Orbeck's recommending Standby Systems, $7,250 annually, and just so everyone knows, we were expecting a delegation tonight. They did not come, but I was asked a question by a local business. Can we, if the bids are close, can we deviate and maybe get the second lowest bid because they're local versus being from Richmond? We have a ruling from the town attorney, when you go to procurement, if both bidders are responsive and responsible, you must go with the low bidder. So and Mr. Van Orbeck had a great point. I asked him about this. He says the reason the town advertises locally is in hopes of getting local bids. That happened this time. They were, I think, $200 off or $250.
$245.
So the local firm did not get the, but we don't have a choice. So, but anyway, you have a
Why is this such a big difference? I mean, that's $6,000 difference between, are we getting less service?
Same exact specification.
Because that just seems crazy that.
No, the Standby was the new company last year, and they came in with a low price, but we have had no problems with them this year. They
Difference
called
from
me and said all the
7,000 to
appointments for everything.
12,000 is
He's right. He's got 4 bids, folks. 2 of them in the 12,000 and 2 of them in the 7,000.
it worries me when and I trust our judgment, so.
Well, the second company that came in low, they asked for the bids from last year, so I think that's why they were so much lower,
Gotcha.
because they were going by Standby's bid.
As long as, we have the means of making sure that they're performing.
They really work with Dan.
Okay.
Dan goes out there with the generators with them.
And they call and set schedules with me, so we didn't get.
I would entertain a motion to approve the town manager's recommendation.
So moved.
Mr. Scott has seconded Mr. Nash's bid.
Roll call's fine.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed?
No,
10,000. 10,000, we're good. Medical center landscaping bid, this is, we bid those out again, and Rourke is the low bidder, I believe. We only had 2 bids this time. 'Cause one year we had like 10.
Except for, we had 11, but I forgot
I move to approve
The low bid?
Rourke's low bid.
2,196 annually. What are we paying him now? It's about the same, isn't it?
It should be in front of you. I put, no, separate, I put it.
You did, that's fine. We have a motion and a second to go with the low bid of Rourke's property maintenance.
2196 was last year's bid.
Oh, okay, so he's repeating. Okay. All in favor, say aye. Opposed?
I'm sorry, who seconded that?
Who seconded?
I think I did.
All right, we'll give the
I
Nash. All
moved and Nash second.
right, there we go. Thank y'all.
Again, performance will be key.
John does pretty good. You may have to call him to.
It does say 32 cuts a year, so
Huh?
it does state 32 cuts a year.
My goodness. I don't cut my grass. I don't think I've cut my grass 3 times in my life. But you're right, it's good.
I really do think that what we're doing with Greg Young, man, that grass was super. You keep it cut right, and we got rid of all those noxious beds that were on the front.
Which in
you put
future
all of it.
reference, on your bids that you do send out, you need to take the fertilizing out, since that is separate.
We are using Greg Young for a fertilizer application in the fall and spring, and I had a big difference on that grass. It looks a whole lot better, and he's also hitting the town square. It's
good.
That pretty
Well,
good.
what Greg touches is great.
Greg's
Doing fire
mojo work,
department
I
too.
can tell you that.
I have neighbors who
Greg's
use
doing
him.
the fire department, you know, or is
Greg doing
it?
it?
Not bad.
Greg's crazy.
Yeah, he's got grass in my front yard. I don't know how he did it.
He can make some good.
All right, very good. We have an exterminating bid, and the low bidder is Bugs, Bats.
Same motion.
I thought it was Bed Bath and Beyond. It's Bugs, Bats and Beyond. $1,995 annually.
Move to approve.
Last year's bid was 2095, so.
Come down $1,000. All right, is there a motion?
I moved and Ms.
All
Thompson
right, we have a
seconded.
motion and second by Ms. Thompson to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Well, I do have a question.
Okay.
It does have additional visit at $65. How often do we call for additional visits? Have we not? Okay. Because
I
it
think
was
the water
higher.
treatment plant, they had a problem with mice once this year, we called for that. That was the only time.
Gotcha.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The concrete bid, this is to Scott Walker Construction.
Now, this went up a bunch this year, but keep in mind, last year, he gave us, one of those line items was $1 a linear foot to keep his price down. And that's why it increased this year. Do we ever do this amount? And Sam's looking at me like I'm.
No.
Which line item was that?
I believe it was the CG6 less than 100 feet, but I can pull the bid from last year. We awarded on lump sum, but we've never done that much.
He's going to 30.
This year.
Right.
Right.
And
He
pay us-
charged like $1.
Wow.
Last year was 125 gallons.
It is not a contract for 249. The only reason we have a total on there is because there's no other way to compare it. If
Okay.
you have everybody at different prices, we only want one contractor doing the work. So say he's $30 on curb and gutter 6-inch, height, more than 100 feet, but another contractor is low on the next one, we can't have a mismatch mixer. So we gotta award it on a lump sum when you add all those together. Ed Brown and I and Jason struggled with that, but that's about the only way the three of us and Jay Lee could find that we could fairly do that. But
Any
the lump
reason
sum doesn't
one-
mean you're signing a contract for 249. You're signing a contract or agreeing to a linear foot.
And you didn't have but one person.
Only one bid on it, yeah.
Surprise.
Only one bid.
All right. This is that firm does great work in our town, I know that. What's the council's pleasure?
It is what it is. We got one bid.
This will be
Approved.
this will be a roll call vote because of the potential likelihood of going over $10,000. All in favor, we got a motion and a second?
Nash made a motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, Mr. Green, second. All in favor, starting with Mr. Tucker and approving the bid.
Aye.
The motion carries 7-0. That's up to $249,000 a year, but it won't,
No,
get
it could,
complete.
it could be $1 million if we needed
Could
it.
be.
That's just the only way you can bid it out accurately.
all right?
And this will not include the TAC 21 work in front of the ball field, that way bid separately.
That'll be separate, right.
Just like Nottaway Avenue.
Bid separately.
We have no committee referrals. We have, on the mayor's minute, I don't really have much to say, but I do appreciate we are on the verge of some good things here. One thing I do want to tell you, I went to I think I may have been the only one at the Chamber of Commerce luncheon on the Fast Seed. And I just want y'all to keep this in mind while, Fast Seed obviously, none of us really know how positive it's going to be, but I'm just concerned, it's funny, you know, the numbers from Fast Seed tend to change. I've been to every meeting they've had. And 2 years ago, the average stay of the average trainee was going to be 2 weeks in Black's, 2 weeks. It's now 1 week. And the other day, they said the trainees would be up to $10,000 a year. 65% of those trainees, which is 6,500, are going to come in on a Sunday and leave on a Friday. They're going to come in, they're going to meet in Washington, be bused to their hotel, which we hope is on Route 40.
Or in the town of Blackstone.
Or in the town of
Right,
Blacksburg.
but then they're gonna, but think, I want you to think about this. They're gonna be on their bus, the next morning they're gonna get up and eat breakfast, bust into Pickett, have lunch brought to them, and come back at night. They will be able to, and like I said, it's all positive, I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here. But the only nights they're gonna have to really, those people can only go downtown on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And the only reason I'm saying this is Pickett last year, from what I understand, trained about 120,000 military personnel of all, you know, Marines, Guardsmen, active army. And while that 10,000 is positive, I think a lot of us, myself included, was saying, oh man, it's going to be the gold mine. It's going to be positive. But 10,000 trainees a year, you know, it's not 120,000. Now, of course, they may bring a lot of contract business. I think it's important you know, that's one of the reasons I've been really talking about going slow on the boundary adjustment.
Nothing was said about quick tonight.
No, it was not, and I commend you for that. That's all I've got, folks. Police reports,
Ask for a closed session for disposition of real estate.
tail shop.
Correct.
Okay. The chief is not with us tonight. Is he okay?
Yes, sir, as far as I know, everything's fine.
Good. Anybody got any questions about the police report?
I didn't get a chance to look at it. How we doing on traffic?
There we go.
No, I'm concerned that we are, everybody's fussing about the speeding constantly. At every meeting almost, we've got somebody complaining and wanting stop signs and this, that, and the other. And while I'm probably as guilty as the next fellow, I would hate to get a ticket, but one way I know you can slow down traffic
You had 10 tickets for
is put a ticket out there. You'll make a Christian out of somebody in a hurry.
Well, speed bumps, we are gonna look into a thing called, what's it called, calming, traffic calming. I've said in these chambers previously that you can't put speed bumps in public streets, but VDOT has a tool now. They're sort of like a speed bump, and it's called traffic calming, so we might be looking at that. If there's any other business, I need a motion to go in, wait a minute, I'm sorry, I apologize. This is the second opportunity for citizen comments. Anyone here tonight want to ask a question about something? Ms. Hoover, yes.
I just wanted to ask about the landscaping and all, the historical, around the Lincoln Tire Museum and the SWAT Tavern too.
The grass cutting around the tavern and the museum.
And the last time I checked, where the, in front of the building, a lot of weeds growing up. And
If I
where
may.
the machinery is, the entrance there.
Right.
I got it, Philip.
Philip,
I got this. I got this.
Mr. Green says he has a,
The Finance Committee is working on a proposal to privatize our grass cutting, and we would have better control and less cost. So hopefully we'll have that ready for next year's budget.
I will say, this is where we do miss our town manager being able to drive, because he was the roundup king, and we used to keep all the flower beds and streets and such sprayed, and we do miss that, I can say,
Because he carried around a pump and a hole with
all
him.
the time.
I saw Mr. David Patterson.
Yes, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Concerning, concerning what you said about Fast C.
Yes, sir.
How is that going to affect the people here in the town of Blackstone as far as real estate values and everything else going up?
Here's a two-part answer. Number one, none of us know. It's too hard to tell. But what the 2012 study said, and a lot of people said, oh, man, that's wrong. The study that Uncle Sam did said that 85% of the people would live in Chesterfield, and the 15% would choose Nottoway. And a lot of us rolled our eyes at that and said, oh, they're all going to move to Nottoway. These folks are coming down from Northern Virginia, and Chesterfield County, like it or not, has a great reputation, and they're going to be Googling Wood Lake and the schools there. My goal has always been, just like with the Department of Military Affairs, over time, folks looking for a slower pace of life will realize, hey, Nottoway County has one homicide every 4 years at best, still one too many. The taxes are low. It's a great place to live and raise a family over time, but it's a great unknown. None of us know.
Okay, and another thing I have is when I go to Fort Pickett, I go there quite a bit now. The ones that's coming I had a group come in from New Jersey, New York. There's nothing here open 24 hours a day for them when they get off of duty or so to eat or to get gas or just to have a good time. And that's another factor that I'm worried about with the Fast C project. We don't have no entertainment, no nothing for them to do.
Well, Mr. Orlando, well, here's the thing. Mr. Orlando Gomez, the man who wants to put the hotel out there, is probably going to solve some of that. That's what's got some of us concerned that may take some business from town. But yes, that's one of those things where the marketplace has to respond. The town council can't fix that.
But is there any attempt by anybody to influence the merchants to try to stay or bring in another?
There's an attempt tonight in closed session, so.
I will give you an example. Y'all will laugh, but this is a true story. I have been approached, who want to know about the rules about someone that was talking about possibly opening up a bikini bar in Blackstone. Oh. So already the market is trying to find unique ways to capitalize off Fast C.
You have to buy advance tickets.
I told them Mr. Moncure would be a wonderful manager.
No, but again, like I said, you have these. Cause like I said, I go to Fort, and that's the biggest complaint I hear from these soldiers.
Mr. Patterson has the floor. Mr. Patterson has the floor.
That's the biggest complaint I hear, because there's 3 places that deliver to them.
Right.
And if it wasn't for the three, a lot of times, a lot of them come here with no transportation, they gotta wait around.
Right.
And, but they said when they go out, there's nothing to do. There's no kind of entertainment for them to do.
Well, for New Jersey folks who are used to probably faster paced life, I don't know if Blackstone could ever keep them totally enthralled, but you're right. But the market will hopefully, as more folks come here and train, entrepreneurs will say, hey, look, I'm going to open up a XYZ or whatever it's going to be. But good point. Anything else?
And can we maybe in this year or next year's budget, can we have something for a YMCA in this area?
We have inquired about a YMCA, and at one time there was talk of the YMCA being interested in the Armory. There was talk about YMCA at VUMAC. I'm gonna just tell you this, and again, not trying to be Debbie Downer, I'm just a realist. Prince Edward County in Farmville has a YMCA,
Yes.
and it was a wonderful facility. And the Board of Supervisors had a 4-4 tie vote against co-signing a loan to help them meet expenses. And Farmville's a pretty happening town with young folks who are into fitness. And I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know if a YMCA could fly here in Blackstone or Nottaway County. And
They told
It was
us that
too
they
close to Blackstone, to Farmville for one to come to Blackstone.
had to have X amount, I think it was 15,000, 20,000
Yeah.
people,
They
residents
didn't
within.
have support here to.
right.
Well, what about the other counties around Blackstone, like Lunenburg and parts of Dinwiddie?
Got to so many,
Oh, okay.
Right.
I
Good points, but all your observations are accurate. There's just some, and I'm not trying to pass the buck, but there's just some things that we can't do. But cheerlead. Anyone else address council before we go in closed session and talk about the town shop? Yes, Mr. Whitlow.
Just a quick response to Ann's question. We are actively working to adjust and fix the landscaping around the Carriage Museum, make it a lot, revitalize it.
Very good. I want to commend, I've had the pleasure of having several chats with Zach Whitlow. Zach's doing a good job with DBI. Have a lot of good energy and ideas.
I move for a slight adjournment and go into closed session.
5-minute recess and in closed session. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Thank y'all for coming out tonight.
Yeah, I set her up.